Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, January 30th. Here's what's up this week.
If you've been feeling under the weather lately, you're not alone. The superflu is sweeping the nation, but a Jewish center on campus has a tasty remedy.
Plus, a blizzard hit southern Indiana last weekend, but an annual event in Bloomington kept people warm. We'll tell you what happened.
But first, how one IU alum is working to make drinking in Greek life safer. Hello and welcome to What's Up Weekly. I'm Teegan Emerson.
And I'm Grace Morocco. Teegan, we're finally back from winter break. How was your break?
It was good. It was kind of short though. I had to come back early for sorority recruitment, which wasn't awesome, but it's fine. Yeah. Well, Sorority Rush just wrapped up and a number of students joined Greek life this year.
One IU alum is helping students navigate the party scene safely while still having fun. Our Audrey Lash has the story. Audrey?
With sorority recruitment bringing bigger crowds and more social events, one IU alum is working to make nights out safer through her business, Tastefully Buzzed. This fall, Indiana University welcomed a record number of women into Greek life. With thousands of new members joining sororities, conversations about alcohol culture and safety are becoming more important than ever. One IU alum is working to change how those conversations happen.
Alcohol presentations that are given to students are typically really boring. People are saying things like, guilt trip, patronizing, waste of my time, makes me want to drink more.
Melanie Farrell graduated from Indiana University and now runs Tastefully Buzzed, a company that travels to college campuses to speak with sorority and fraternity members about drinking culture. Instead of focusing on punishment or rules, her program takes a different approach.
Our presentation is more geared towards helping you change your attitude around drinking, right? Because it's not the alcohol itself that's causing you to get more of the pros or more of the cons when you drink. It's your attitude towards it.
With more first-year students joining Greek life than ever before, Farrell says early conversations can shape habits that last far beyond college.
I want women to lead more vibrant lives because I feel like that's like the change that I really experienced in college. I want women to live their lives in color. I want them to have courage to do things that are bold.
Tastefully Buzzed will be visiting IU sororities later this semester. You can find more information about Tastefully Buzzed by checking out their Instagram, Tastefully Buzzed, or their website, beersaren'tbad.com.
Thousands of Hoosier fans gathered this weekend to mark the school's first football national championship. While temperatures hovered around a single digit, fans turned out at Memorial Stadium on Saturday to celebrate the achievement. The event gave the Bloomington community a chance to reflect on the season and show support for the team despite the cold weather.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. I'm very grateful and very blessed. And it's been insane. Even last year, the team was already making good strides in that way, but it's just been awesome to see it turn around and everything.
A new bill could soon make your favorite sandwich official state business. The proposal is just one sentence long, and it would make the breaded pork tenderloin sandwich Indiana's official state sandwich. The bill passed unanimously out of the Senate committee a few weeks ago. The proposal requires the sandwich to be made with Indiana-raised pork, and its author, past Senator Andy Zay, says the designation may boost tourism and highlight Indiana agriculture. Still to come on What's Up Weekly, we get you caught up on this week's trending topics.
That's right, our Paris Payton is in studio to get us caught up on all things celebrity news.
Welcome back to Trending Topics. Even if you don't follow cooking shows, you probably know Guy Fieri from his signature look. The Food Network star shared a video on Instagram for his 58th birthday on Thursday. Gone are both his platinum spiked hair and signature goatee. Now he looks decidedly less remarkable. Fieri admitted as much, writing, "After so many years celebrating my birthday as Guy, I figured this year I'd celebrate it as just Guy." The Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives host didn't offer any explanation as to why he made the change or if he intends to keep the new look. Plenty of his followers noticed the transformation. Even Fieri's son posted a response saying, "Dad, when did you start selling insurance?" Some of the biggest names of the fashion world and beyond have gathered in Rome for the funeral of late fashion designer Valentino Garvani. Anna Whitmore, Tom Ford, Elizabeth Hurley, and Anne Hathaway were among those attending. The funeral took place at a church designed by Michelangelo in the 16th century, filled with admirers of a man who has dominated fashion for decades. His pieces, known as sophisticated, flattering, and flamboyant, were a favorite for actresses walking the red carpet. With Valentino's death, the world loses an icon who was once named the last emperor of fashion. Harry Styles is hitting the road this year, but you will have to travel to see him. It'll be called the Together Together Tour, and it will support his upcoming 4th solo album, Kiss All the Time Disco Occasionally. The tour will include 50 shows, but only in 7 cities. However, 30 of those shows will be in New York City's Madison Square Garden. The Big Apple is the tour's only stop in the U.S. The other cities will be Amsterdam, London, Sao Paulo, Mexican City, Melbourne, and Sydney. Tickets for some of the New York City dates go on sale on January 30th. The rest will go on sale on February 4th.
All right, thanks, Paris. For the chili lovers of Bloomington, hot cocoa isn't the only thing that'll keep you warm in these sub-zero temperatures. The 3rd annual Chili Cook-Off, part of the Freeze Fest celebration, kicked off last Friday at Switchyard Park, where 25 chefs from Bloomington faced off to see whose chili would land on top. Guests could grab tastes of different chili, grab ice cream from the chocolate mousse, and vote on their favorite recipes of the night.
Restaurants participate because more and more individuals in the community are excited to share their recipes, and so it's a great lineup of home chefs this year, and they're just really doing great work. It's awesome.
All proceeds from tickets went towards Mother Hubbard's Cupboard, one of these largest food pantries in the area. Even in the freezing weather, the community was able to come together and support local businesses and chefs.
Well, if you noticed Coach Cignetti's new hair at the championship celebration, you're not alone. Reeve Andrews is the barber behind IU athletes and coaches.
From basketball coach DeVries to football coach Cignetti, he keeps Hoosiers looking sharp at Bent Barber Shop. Our Mike Badrov was there to see Cignetti's haircut in action.
I don't know where I heard this quote, but if you're going to be around a cool cat, you need to be a cool cat. And that's just how I lived. You know, I never wanted to be a fanboy or gawk. I think all the most genuine connections with people is when you just treat them like a human being. You know, these guys are so used to be bombarded with pictures, or, you know, even though Cignetti signed some autographs for me, that helmet he signed was from a client who passed away right after Christmas. And it was for his wife and his dad, you know. So, you know, these are kind of some pretty meaningful autographs to give to people who are struggling and hurt, you know, that could be enlightened by Cignetti. But in the end, it's just being a cool cat around a cool cat, I think, is the name of the game, for them to feel comfortable around you. You know, and then, like, I'm the best barber around. He's the best coach. This is one of the best basketball players around. So it's like, I deserve to be cutting this guy's hair because I want to be the best. Wonders if it kind of looks like Goodwill threw up in here, because it's just a collection of many different things over the years. But one thing that I have noticed is that there's a lot of goats on the wall, and I think it's just a constant reminder that we all can be a goat. We can all try our hardest to be the best at, if it's at basketball, coaching football, being a reporter, you know, doing news. We could all be the best at it, you know, or at least try to be the best at it. And I think that's life, is to continually try. But I think it's just a constant reminder for myself. That's why I have like the MJ boxes kind of looking at me, and I could constantly just kind of look up and be like, I'm the MJ of hair. That's who I want to be. So I think it's just a constant reminder for my staff and myself that we're here to be the GOAT.
After the break, Reeve Andrews is in studio to talk about cutting hair for IU athletes and coaches.
We'll be right back. All right, we're back now with Reeve Andrews. Thank you so much for being here.
You're so welcome.
The snow, you trekked through it, you made it.
I did.
We're so appreciative. But okay, so my first question for you is, how did you get into hair in the first place? Is this something you always wanted to do?
That's interesting. To be honest with you, barbering kind of found me. My mother was a hairstylist, and so to be honest with you, growing up, she missed, as a hairstylist, you work Saturdays, you work late, And so she kind of missed a lot of my life, like sports and practices and games, because she had to work so much. So I really didn't want to be a hairstylist like her at first. And then I tore my ACL playing football when I was 13 years old. So I was only in like 7th, 8th grade when I tore my ACL. And that kind of got me out of sports. And I grew up poor. And I knew I needed a job to go through college with if I wanted to go to college. And I didn't want to be a bartender. So I had the opportunity in high school to learn a trade, which was cosmetology. They didn't have a barber program back then. So I went and did cosmetology so I could do hair as a freshman in college.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Well, it seems like it's working out for you. I mean, you're cutting Cignetti's hair, the basketball players.
Sure, yeah. Sometimes a negative is actually a positive. We just don't know that yet. And so I encourage everyone, if a negative kind of arises, to actually just take a break and look around and find that positive that's around it. And it could lead to really great things like cutting Coach Cignetti's hair and some of the best people in Bloomington.
Yeah, definitely. So we were talking a little bit before we started the interview about how you even got Cignetti as a client.
Right.
So can you kind of talk us through that?
Sure. Your work is powerful. So, I try to do really good work on every one of my clients. No matter who's in my chair, they're all paying the same price for a haircut. So why treat anyone differently? You should treat them all the same. I was very blessed to be cutting Brian Walsh's hair, the assistant coach to Mike Woodson a couple years ago. His best friend growing up was Mike Shanahan, the new offensive coordinator who came in under Cignetti. So I was able to cut Shanahan's hair, did a great job with him. And guess what? Your work speaks volumes. So then all of a sudden Tina Sinceri called me because he wanted a haircut. And then Derek Owens called me wanting a haircut. But I don't really take new clients anymore. So I was like, hey guys, there's only one coach I want now, and that's Coach Cignetti. And by God, 2 hours later, he hit me up. And he's the only client I've ever had to actually interview me to be his barber. And I just thought that was him. At first I was like, whoa, who is this guy? You know what I mean? But he just laid out the law, what he expected out of me. And he gets his haircut super early in the morning. He might text me late at night on a Tuesday saying he needs a haircut Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. And if that was something I was able to accommodate for him, and luckily I can. And so I took my shot and I said yes. And for 2 years now, I've been able to watch the rise of the IU football team and Coach Cignetti firsthand.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. All right, so in the interview, you said to be a cool cat, you have to be a cool cat.
Yes.
What does that really mean to you?
I think in the end, they're humans, it doesn't matter who they are, how much publicity they're getting on socials or on TV, is just to treat them like human beings, because that's who we are inside of all of us. So it's just, if you're gonna be a cool cat, just be a cool cat, and just understand that they're not above you. So just be equal with each other and treat them as equals. And that allows the true connection of humans to come alive, is when you just kind of treat him as a cool cat because you're a cool cat.
Yeah,
kind of the vibe.
definitely.
Yeah.
So is there anything about Cignetti that might surprise people?
He's actually just a very genuine, nice guy. I know he kind of comes off as pretty stern and just laser focused, which he is, don't get me wrong, but he really is a very nice human being and cares about you. And there's not really many other people around when I cut his hair, but the times I have, he'll take a moment to make sure he shakes her hand, looks in the eye. And what I love about Coach Cignetti, he always asks a question about that person, just to make them feel important. Like, where are you from? Or how long have you been in Bloomington? And I just noticed that's a true leader and a true person when you kind of just take the time to extend your heart and thanks, because again, these people are very looking up to this guy, and he's just over here looking up to them. And I just think that's something I love about Coach Cignetti, is how he just takes the time to be a good person, even though he's such on a pedestal right now in Bloomington.
Yeah, definitely.
So I know you said earlier, that the one coach you kind of wanted was Cignetti, but is there anyone else that you would say is maybe your dream client?
So I don't take new clients right now. I have a wonderful staff at Bent Barber Shop who is willing and ready to cut anyone's hair. Unfortunately, I just don't have I'm so busy right now that's hard for good clients to come in. But I'm saying Mark Cuban, John Mellencamp, Carl Cook from Cook Pharmaca. I would love to have him. And besides that, I'm pretty solid with where I am right now in barbering. But like I said, Bent, my barbershop's always willing to take new clients. We have a great staff who cuts hair even better than I do. So if you are interested in a haircut, look us up. So
I'm gonna tag Mark Cuban. I don't know if he watches the show. He might. You never know.
Yeah, no.
He could pop up on his Instagram feed or something one day.
I've given him a business card once, and he put it in his pocket. So my business card was in a billionaire's pocket one
It
time.
might be floating around his house somewhere.
You never
Somewhere,
know.
It could be in a
Just
drawer.
gotta
He could just be waiting.
Water that seed a little bit for me, so.
So if anybody wants to find you on socials, what's your at?
At Bent Hair is for my barbershop. I'm just Reeve Andrews, I think. I don't really remember my Instagram. I personally try not to use socials too much, though. Bent Hair is the main one to book online and see our staff and see what's going on at my shop.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, we'll put that in our post as well. But thank you so much for coming to talk to us today.
I appreciate it, and I encourage you guys the best. And everyone tap into these ladies and Mike in the back, and you guys are doing some amazing things here.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it.
All right. Well, students, if you're feeling under the weather, there's a surprise waiting for you on campus.
That's right. We'll tell you where to get it after the break.
Welcome back. Edith Morales is here with us today to talk about sickness on campus, which I'm sure we've all experienced. Well, thanks for joining us. How sick have you guys been the last 2 months?
Well, unfortunately, I got sick about a week ago after the Miami game. Probably being in the airport and stuff. It's progressively gotten better over the past few days, so I think I'm on the way out, but it's still annoying regardless.
Yeah.
What about you?
No, me too. I had the flu during break. It was bad. It was bad. But as flu season hits, more students begin to get sick. That is why the Jewish Culture Center provides multiple soup options that can be delivered right to your door for no cost.
The free matzo ball soup program is a program where the Jewish Center delivers free soup to sick students. It is sponsored by the Murdo family in Indiana that fund the program and necessities for it.
And so we prepare it in-house in our kitchens, and we package it up in microwave-safe containers that we then freeze. And then when we deliver it frozen, and you just microwave it up, or you can kind of work the block of ice out into a pan and heat it up in a saucepan on the stove. And it tastes great every time.
The soups are made in their kitchen, provided with 2 different versions, a meat chicken matzo ball version and a vegetarian and gluten-free matzo ball versions. They are delivered to the students' dorm or apartment.
And matzo ball soup in the Jewish community is medicine. It is the Jewish penicillin. So pretty much anything that ails you, matzo ball soup will help make it better.
This program helps connect IU with students and to support the families who can't be there when their students are ill, especially during times like finals week and winter season.
I mean, everybody likes a little bit of extra attention when they're sick, right? You know, and just knowing that someone is thinking about you and taking care of you is a very healing thing.
Soup is available Monday through Friday. You can fill out the form on iuhello.org.
All right, thanks, Edith. And thank you guys for watching What's Up Weekly. Tune in next week for more local and entertainment news.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at IUSTV News. For What's Up Weekly, I'm Teegan Emerson.
And I'm Grace Morocco. We'll be back next week.